everyone, it's Natalie here. Just wanted to make a really quick update about my work with Thoth Deck. So I purchased a Thoth Deck recently when I realized I wanted to get back into tarot. And I don't know, just over time I had started to recognize like there's a lot about Crowley and about this particular deck that I was curious about. And so I have now successfully managed to trim it. I edged it in green, which I think should be pretty visible there, which interestingly, I don't know, initially I wasn't going to go with green. I thought maybe I was going to go with blue or red, but this ended up being just really yummy and delicious. And when you see the Fool here, there he is. You can see like, hey, that actually kind of works. So the borders came off. I wanted to keep the names and like the keywords and so forth here on the cards as much as possible, so that those were apparent. So it's been quite a journey. I gotta be honest, this process for me really sucks. I started this out really not vibing with it. That I was just ready to throw the whole deck in the trash, honestly. And kind of miserable. I have been using this set of Fisker trimmers. They are the worst. The edge cutter was not ideal. It started to chew the cards up. Edge trimmer, like the corner punch, ate through the cards a little bit. This started to happen. I think I had 12 left before that started happening, which was really annoying, especially. I just gave this a 1-star review. It's really satisfying. It is a terrible piece of equipment. It just is not designed well at all. And what I ended up doing was buying 2 more edge cutters on Amazon. As an artist, if I want something to be uneven or messed up, I do that on purpose. I'm just really glad to have them done. It was a lot. It was a big project. So it has left me thinking like, am I gonna trim another deck? Am I gonna, do this again? I've watched all these great videos of people who are like, I just love doing my trimming. Look how beautiful my trimmed edge deck is. Look how much better I can see the images. They're so close together when you spread them out. And I think the answer is yes. I'm just sitting here like fanning them out, having fun. Like, wow, look how they turned out. It really does get you familiar with the cards to do this. It was a great exercise. There aren't very many I can think of off the top of my head that I definitely want to do that with, aside from I think probably the Tarot. I did get a copy of it the other day, opened it up, pulled everything out, and it was damaged. So before even pulling the cards out, I did start to make like an unboxing and like first impressions, and I had not had enough to eat. So it was really slow and really annoying, and I maybe will cut like pieces of that out and use it, but the 2 of Swords was missing from the deck. The images were off, so I probably will go ahead and trim that deck. In fact, maybe I'll just restart this. So I just went and got the Tarot because I did buy it. I'm blown away by this tarot and its images. You can tell like on one side, the border is about twice as thick as it is on the other. And I just find that really, and since it's, if I can never find the center here. Since it's off center on the back as well, you can kind of tell that this side, it's a little bit thicker than it is on this side. It seems to me, is that going to be, oh no. Oh, it's in direct opposition to what's on this side. So regardless, if I were to trim these, the backs would end up completely cattywampus. That's annoying. The other thing I found really irritating, and I hope this comes across, I hope you can see it, right in here and here, you can see like when the deck arrived, it was like that. It was damaged. It's really a shame. They're so beautiful. I mean, I'm blown away by the images on this deck. Um, I really can't get, I'm excited to get tucked in working on it. It's nice and, dark and creepy and beautiful. And I love, the gilding's great, but if they're just going to get damaged through use or even before, pulling them out of the packaging, that's just not good enough. Shame on Schiffer publishers. They're making an object that's going to be shuffled and used and, beaten up and pushed around. It's really incumbent upon them to create a quality product that is in harmony, with the integrity of the artist. The integrity and depth of the artist should be reflected in their manufacturing and publishing practices. So, my 2 cents worth. I'm excited to get a replacement deck. Theoretically, it's on its way because these are going back. But another deck alteration that I've made is to my Indigo Alchemist deck. And I think, no, this I put back in order. So I put it back in order because I'm just studying the images in more depth. But look at that. I'm so excited about that adjustment. It changes the way the backs look and feel. It just, to me, I had initially thought about cutting the sides of the borders off, and possibly the tops, but now with this, I'm happy. I don't really feel a need to do it. They seem like pretty much exactly what I want at this point. My hands are comfortable holding them. They're not too thick. And I'm loving this deck so much. I just love it. I did a good long, first impressions and walkthrough of it. That's probably excessively long, but I had fun making it. I really wish that she would consider maybe a second printing, or, I don't know what her printing situation is now, but I think it would be really cool to see them printed on thicker cardstock, and just with a little bit more care, because they're so beautiful. I just hope they really last. So, yeah, I'm loving this one. If I were to do any more deck modifications, it would be on my Tarot of the Spirit. There it is. I was a little bit worried that my Tree of Kabbalah, Tree of Life thing came out. A nice thick one too. This is not a flimsy, nasty piece of plastic. It's really substantial. That US Games logo on the white borders is kind of off-putting. No, I mean, you're looking at something as beautiful as this Strength card, and you've got US Games and all the publishing dates on the card itself. It just feels it's a bit much. So I'm contemplating that. These decks are still in order. This deck is in order right now too. Because I'm going through it and trying to learn it. And of course, spending plenty of time comparing it to the Thoth deck. So these two, obviously they're the same system, but coming from very, very different places. So I have Pamela Eakins' book on the deck. It's her mom, I believe, that did all of the artwork and conceived all of the cards. And I'm really excited about learning them and working with them. Mindful Tarot, Lisa from Mindful Tarot, is really the one that got me excited about this particular deck. And then, I don't know, I was kind of pushed away from the Thoth deck for a long time when I was in my teens, thinking like it's evil or bad. But man, those are so beautiful. I mean, yeah, sure, all decks are going to have darkness in them, but I don't feel like there's any more, darkness in this deck than what you would find in any other deck. In a Rider-Waite system, if you look at the traditional representation of the swords, that's pretty dark. The Devil card is going to be challenging in any deck, usually, unless a particular author or designer has chosen to soften it. I don't know. you know, that's just up to the person and up to their preferences. I have been reading, his name is Lon Milo Duquette, and he is a Thelemite. He practices Thelema, so I guess that makes him a member of the Ordo Templi Orientis, the OTO. I really have no investment in that personally whatsoever. I've been really researching Crowley a lot. I think I'm probably going to do some writing about it and possibly maybe some more videos about it. What a lot of questions that guy raises, especially as a Buddhist. You know, and Buddhism is really primarily concerned with ending suffering, and it definitely is not ending suffering through hedonistic pursuit. It raises a lot of questions. Who was Crowley, and what was he really being motivated by? And I honestly, for all of his darkness and his so-called darkness and willingness to try terrifying rituals and so forth, I really have to question somebody who seemed so able to abuse their power. And it seems to me that there are a number of situations in his life that I'm, you know, digging into a little bit more deeply to discern like what's real and what has just become, you know, truth through, you know, popular culture. A little more than what I would have expected, actually. I just listened to a Thelemite who's fairly high up in the order give an interview. It was from back in 2013. He was delightful. He was really delightful and very, very much concerned with fairness and with representing Crowley in a way that was fair, admitting where Crowley was really tricksy and difficult. I'm sure he was biased. Well, this is just a dude. You know, this is just a guy who had some stuff going on. Anyway, those are just my thoughts at the moment. I've seen a couple of things about different people working with the Thoth Deck recently and thought, ooh, I'd love to add some, you know, information out there about my fun times trimming and edging a deck for the first time. Never done that before. But also just like really diving into and researching, and, you know, I've probably watched 3 or 4 documentaries. I've listened to no less than probably 3 hours, 4 hours of interviews, or, you know, maybe closer to 5 hours worth of interviews. I mean, in the car, walking the dog, about his work, you know, about his life and work, just because I'm curious, just curious. And I'm also really curious too about, you know, these Kabbalistic decks and the decks that are using, you know, the Tree of Life system as a means of illuminating the cards and, you know, bringing a different aspect to it, I think, than just the Rider-Waite system. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to talking to all of you again soon. Bye.